If there's one thing Isaiah Stewart is known for, it is for being a crash out. And a lot of people say that the only time they see him on their timeline is when he's crashing out or talking trash to someone. But here's the thing. Isaiah Stewart is actually one of the best defenders in the entire NBA. I would have Isaiah Stewart on my team any day of the week. And this video is going to do a film breakdown and look at some of the numbers as to why he's so elite. And also the fact that I feel like every team needs someone who can crash out. You need an enforcer, you need some toughness, but let's not talk about that right now. I've got a theory. If the Pistons were on national TV more, or if Isaiah Stewart spent the first 4 years of his career in a winning situation, he would have the reputation that he deserves as one of the best defenders in the NBA. But he doesn't, so I gotta tell you, because the mainstream media ain't gonna tell you, so I'm gonna have to tell you why. For example, did you know that opponents have a lower field goal percentage at the rim against Isaiah Stewart than they do against Victor Wembanyama? Victor Wembanyama is 7'5", Isaiah Stewart is 6'9". Now, obviously, he's helped a lot by his 7'4" wingspan and his insane strength. Isaiah Stewart anchors the Detroit defense. He's constantly communicating, telling his teammates where they need to be. He can switch 1 through 5. He can show on the pick and pops. He can show on the pick and rolls and still recover to get back to his man in time. He's an elite help defender, but he's also an elite man-to-man defender. And on the offensive side, we're not talking about that today, but he sets, and I don't care about his scoring, I'm not talking about that, but he sets solid screens, which is a lost art in today's NBA. Opponents are shooting just 37.6% against Isaiah Stewart, and the majority of these attempts are coming in the paint. The Pistons defense is 6 points per 100 possessions better when he's on the floor, and he's 13th in the NBA right now in blocks. In fact, Isaiah Stewart has the second most blocks in the NBA since the All-Star break, and he's only one away from first spot on that list, which is held by Miles Turner, another 7-footer. He ranks 14th in the NBA in block percentage, which means the percentage of opponent shot attempts that are blocked by Isaiah Stewart. I don't really like going through the numbers because numbers don't really show a good representation of defense, so we're going to go through the film. So you've got the Detroit Pistons and an undersized big who's blocking every shot possible. Reminds me a little bit about Ben Wallace. Let's hope there's no more malice at the palace, but let's break down some of Isaiah Stewart's game. In fact, let's call him Beef Stew, because that's what I call him, Beef Stew. All right, let's look at this first clip. There's 22 seconds left on the clock. The Hawks are down 4. They need a bucket here. They set the screen on Cade Cunningham, and the Pistons are happy with Isaiah Stewart switching. So, because he can guard all 5 positions. People don't understand this. They're happy with Isaiah Stewart guarding Trae Young with the game on the line. He stays with Trae Young, forces him baseline, keeps his hands out so he doesn't commit a foul, contests the shot perfectly without fouling, and forces the miss. Wins the game for the Detroit Pistons. And it's such a luxury to have a center on your roster that you're happy switching onto small point guards. Here we have a clip where he switches onto Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard gets downhill once again, contesting without fouling, forces the miss. And this was one of only 3 shots that Peyton Pritchard missed in this game. This possession is maybe my favorite possession of the season because I'm a weirdo and I love defense, okay? I want you to watch Cade Cunningham on this possession here, okay? Now, Cade is going to spend the next 8 seconds just clapping his hands. He's not worried about the fact that his center is guarding a point guard out there on the court. Most teams would be trying to force a double team or maybe trying to scram a switch, but instead, he knows what's happening. Isaiah Stewart in his defensive stance with his hand up in the air, ready for whatever's about to happen. Moves his feet. He's got active feet. Hands up once again, not trying to foul, Uses his strength. He doesn't let Jalen Suggs get into the paint. He walls off that paint completely, forces Suggs, doesn't go for the little shoulder shimmy, forces Suggs into the tough fadeaway, hand up in his face, contesting it, and Suggs misses. Cade, down here, is still clapping his hands. He knew what was going to happen. He knows that Beef Stew puts these guys in jail. Another clip from the game against the Celtics, right? Here's what happens. Isaiah Stewart is going to jump out. Look how high up on the court he's guarding. You don't too often see bigs that have this mobility, right? He's guarding so high up on the court. He's with Pritchard at damn near the halfway line because we all know Peyton Pritchard can score from his own half. We see him do it in the NBA Finals, okay? Now, the Pistons, they get him switched back because they notice that there's a mismatch down low with Cater being guarded by Tobias Harris, which has left someone open, Jordan Walsh, in the corner there. So they've come up to switch that. Isaiah Stewart has to get back into the paint and recover. By the time the ball gets out to Jordan Walsh, he's going to be in position. Now Tobias Harris has to rush out for the closeout. He gets beat off the dribble, but Isaiah Stewart is there. And look at this. Look how high up he gets to block this dunk attempt from Jordan Walsh. Absolutely amazing defense. This game against the Celtics, in fact, earlier this season, this was simply sensational because, you know, some of the other clips I just showed you, he's guarding smaller players. How about guarding Kristaps Porzingis? We saw him in the NBA Finals against the Mavs kill everyone in this mid-range area over here with his turnaround jump shot. Porzingis gets the back screen from Derek White here, which should have him set up to get position in the paint. Beef Stew gets through that screen. He's walling off Porzingis. He's trying to deny the catch. Porzingis gets a good position. Okay? He faces him up. There's that jab step. Porzingis loves to hit the jab step in between the defender's legs to create that separation. But Beef Stew, hands up. Hands up. Active feet, active hands. Rises up to contest the shot, and that misses. Next possession down for the Celtics, right? Al Horford's got the ball in the corner. This player's rushing to close out. So you know Al Horford's going to try and drive, which means Beef Stew's got to sag into the paint. And you're leaving one of the best shooting bigs in the league open over here. Okay, cool. He goes to contest. As he's gone across, Porzingis has seen the open lane and he thinks it's going to be an easy dunk. As Horford spots the pass, he's a great playmaker. Porzingis comes down the lane. But I'm sorry, sir. Isaiah Stewart's at the rim. Ain't nothing easy happening today. And it's not just blocking shots and help defense and switches. He can guard on the post because he is so strong. Now, Ivica Zubac is one of the best players at scoring on the post. You might not believe me, but in terms of hook shots scored this season, I believe he's number one on the list. Look at this possession though, right? He knows what they want to run. They want to get Zubac a post up. Zubac wants to get down to this spot here. Isaiah is going to fight him the whole way down, not let him get easy position. He's wrestling with the big fella down low. When he does get the ball, just watch. He's got the face up, then he's going to try back him down. Tries to swipe away Isaiah's arm. He's trying to back him down. He's putting his shoulder. 7-foot center's putting his shoulder into Isaiah's chest. He's just not moving. This is a brick wall right here. He is not letting Zubac get anywhere he wants to go. In fact, he's got such active hands that he's now reached around and he's going to disrupt the dribble of Ivica Zubac. Tips the ball away. Okay, he tries to post him up again. Once again, he just takes that hit in his chest. He says, I'm stronger than you. All right, Zubac goes to his hook shot. He shoots this at an extremely high percentage. Beef Stew right there, look, contesting the ball at the point of release. And Ivica Zubac shoots an air ball. You don't see that happening a lot. This time against the best player in the NBA, Nikola Jokic. He recognizes the mismatch. Tobias Harris is guarding Nikola Jokic. So Jokic spins baseline, but Beef Stew once again on cleanup duty, swats that ball away from the hoop. Another play against the Denver Nuggets. Now Nikola Jokic, you can't see him, but he's coming up the court. He's over here. So Isaiah Stewart has to worry about Nikola Jokic at some level because if he leaves him open for a three, you're in trouble. But when he realizes that Jamal Murray has committed to this drive and there's no shot blocker here, Kay Cunningham's trying to get that box out there. Tobias Harris doesn't want to leave Christian Braun open for an open three. And Murray, to his credit, has got the step to get to the lane. Beef Stew says, alarm start going off in his head. Chase down block, swats it off the backboard. And not only that, Jamal Murray manages to get the offensive rebound. Beef Stew's still there, hands up, contesting, another block, and there he is. And he doesn't just block the small players. You saw him block Porzingis, but how about a player who's 7 foot and a little bit more athletic? Evan Mobley this time trying to drive to the hoop. Let me meet you at the hoop. Look how high up in the air Isaiah Stewart can get. Even though he's only 6'9", he blocks that shot as well. I could show you hundreds of clips of Isaiah Stewart blocking shots. But in fact, let's look at this matchup he had with Joel Embiid. Now, Isaiah Stewart is one of the toughest guys in the league. Joel Embiid, let's be honest, Sixers fans, I'm sorry to say it, Joel Embiid loves to flop. So he's read the scouting report. He knows Embiid is trying to bait fouls from the ref. So let's see how he plays him. This time, Embiid attacking downhill. He pushes off in his chest. Beef Stew says, okay, cool. I'm going to put my hands up here. You're not drawing a foul from me. You're not drawing a foul. Look at Embiid trying to finish. He's not used to that. He thought the ref would have blown the whistle by now. Isaiah Stewart has read the scouting report once again. Guarding Embiid. Gets into his body, right? He's much smaller than Embiid. You can see the height difference here, but he's got chest to chest. He's not letting him get easy position. He's using his strength, hands up, takes his step back. Embiid flailing once again, trying to draw the foul. Pathetic, by the way. Another possession here. This time, Joel knows he can't get a lot going inside. He's going to pull up for the mid-range jumper, but Isaiah Stewart is there, hand in his face, contests the jumper, and he misses. And I think Embiid only scored 23 points in that game, and for a guy who averages damn near 30 a night, that's as good as you're going to get against Joel Embiid. Here, playing more help defense. He's not guarding Embiid. He's on the bench now. He's not really worried about Andre Drummond in this dunker spot. As the play unfolds, they're going to go to a little screen roll action here. Kelly Oubre is going to come off. All right. Now, there's a little bit of miscommunication here between his teammates. They don't know what's going on because neither one of them has got out to the shooter and neither one is really committed to the drive. But it's okay because Beef Stew is there. Once again, another emphatic block to, look at the... I didn't even realize the scoreboard. They up 30 points on the Sixers, and Maxey, Embiid, and Paul George all played in this game. First of all, I gotta say these NBA in-season tournament courts, yeah. But anyway, this is just more great defense. Okay, help defense. Isaiah Stewart comes across, great contest, forces the pass out to the corner. The Pistons have to move the ball. Now Miles Turner is catching the ball with this runway to the hoop. Okay, this is a great pass, by the way, from Obi Toppin. And Miles Turner, this is an easy routine dunk from him. But not when Beef Stew's on the court. There he is. A 7-foot Miles Turner, once again denied at the hoop by the man Beef Stew. Like, I don't think you guys, if you don't watch the Detroit Pistons, I don't think you guys understand just how good this guy is defensively when he's protecting the hoop. It's unbelievable. This time, on a closeout, right? He jumps on the closeout because, Reese does a good job with that little head fake, okay? Now, even though he's jumped, look at the body positioning. He's landed with his right foot forward. He's going to immediately swivel his hips. You see how he just changed his stance there? Look. His right foot's forward here. And then he's just going to swivel his hips one time because he doesn't want to get blown by his defender who's going past his right-hand side. So the defender's going left. He swiveled his hips, got great body position, and you guessed it, another block. So the Detroit Pistons have been my favorite story of the season because they were the laughingstock of the NBA last year. This year, they're way above 500. They're in the playoff position. And Beef Stew has been a huge part of that. Jalen Duren's been very solid. And of course, Cade Cunningham is blossoming into a star in front of our eyes. But Beef Stew needs to get his flowers for what he does on the defensive side of the basketball. Because everyone says, I only see clips of this guy when he's fighting people. But guess what? When the Pistons keep improving, and if he stays on the roster, or if he goes over, Beef Stew would solve a lot of the Lakers' problems. Beef Stew would solve a lot of the Knicks' problems. But I digress. Beef Stew needs his flowers for his defense. Keep cooking, big fella. Keep protecting that hoop, and that's a big reason why the Detroit Pistons are finding success this season. So subscribe to the channel if you enjoy real basketball analysis instead of just ESPN talking about LeBron every day. Subscribe. Until next time, get buckets.